This is a story about power, but not the type of power that we thought we understood. In January 2025, 3 seismic events happened.
There's the tequila.
A presidential cryptocurrency created $75 billion in paper wealth in just 36 hours.
The reign of terror against crypto is over.
And now, after using his Trump brand to sell everything from steaks and vodka to sneakers and Bibles, the president promoting his company's newly launched Trump meme coin.
I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful.
A social media ban disconnected 170 million Americans from TikTok and then immediately brought them back online.
I could see making a deal where the U.S. gets 50% of TikTok, polices it a little bit or a lot, depends on them. But remember, they make telephones in China, they make all sorts of things in China. Nobody ever complains about that.
The threat of sweeping tariffs is potentially going to reshape global trade and consumer prices.
We're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
Each of these alone would be remarkable, but together they expose something much deeper, a new kind of power that converts pure attention into control of reality itself. This isn't just about a meme coin or a platform ban or trade policy. It's about the convergence of political power, platform control, and financial wealth into a single self-reinforcing system.
When information becomes abundant, attention becomes the scarce resource. This is an observation that I think we're only just starting to understand what it means for human life and society. This power to shape people's attention, to persuade people toward one end or another, is increasingly centralized in the hands of just a few people, a few companies in one state, in one country.
So I'm Kyla, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the financial aspects of the attention economy in light of tariffs, TikTok, and Trumpcoin. And we're going to talk about how power works in 2025. It all started at 9:44 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday, January 17th, just days before a second inauguration. Trump's team launched Trumpcoin, a meme coin that exploded into one of the most valuable cryptocurrencies in the world in just 36 hours. The success was staggering. Nearly 1 million digital wallets acquired the coin, 6 wallets held over 600 million each at one point, and Trump himself became one of the world's richest paper individuals entirely through attention-based speculation.
I don't know if it benefited. I don't know where it is. I don't know much about it other than I launched it. I heard it was very successful. I haven't checked it. Where is it today?
You made a lot of money, sir.
How much?
Several $billion, it seems like, in the last several days.
Several billion? That's peanuts for these guys.
In the old world, wealth followed a pretty clear formula. You build a product or service, you improve it over time, you generate real cash flow, and you let it compound. Trumpcoin rewrote the script. It skipped all the steps, turning raw attention directly into billions of dollars of speculative wealth. By Sunday afternoon, Melania, his wife, launched her own meme coin, Melania Coin. Money quickly flowed from Trumpcoin to Melania Coin, sparking a market frenzy. Both coins collapsed within hours, wiping out $35 billion in paper wealth. This isn't just another meme coin story. It's proof that attention is the ultimate driver of value. What makes Trumpcoin so significant is not just his financial success. It's in how it integrates financial, platform, and political power into a single self-reinforcing cycle, because you have the token wealth, converting attention into billions, the platform control, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and the political power. This happened just mere days before he became the 47th president of the United States and his second term as president. Because if you think about it, Trumpcoin didn't just create speculative wealth, it set the stage for a new kind of feedback loop that we're seeing: attention driving wealth, wealth fueling influence, and influence capturing more attention. This is not the first time that we've seen the attention economy in action. The GameStop saga showed us how speculation can rewrite the history and future of companies, as well as the financial rules. But Trumpcoin brought this to the presidential level, where speculation isn't just about money, it's about consolidating power. So let's talk about TikTok. This is the 4th time or so that the US has almost banned it, and every time it feels like we're watching a sitcom where they almost land the plane but never quite do, and then, the plane kind of doesn't ever land and maybe something catastrophic happens. Who knows? But But this time, ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, has refused to sell itself even as a $50 billion company. Their refusal underscores the platform's real value, owning the behavioral infrastructure of 170 million Americans. In the book The Age of Surveillance Capital, the author talks about how users of platforms are not just products, they're raw material. TikTok is not just a social media platform, it's the most powerful behavioral modification system ever created. The platform harvests attention, preferences, and behaviors, processing them into prediction products. And it's very good for the economy. I don't know where our economy would be without TikTok. To say that it's not important discredits how important it really is to millions of people. But the power comes at a cost. Platforms like TikTok are optimized for engagement at all costs. They amplify outrage, addiction, and division, turning attention into the ultimate commodity. And so on January 18th at about 10:30 p.m., TikTok did go dark for 170 million Americans. But within hours, President Trump announced plans to take 50% ownership of TikTok, bypassing both Congress and the Supreme Court.
I'll approve, but let the United States of America own 50% of TikTok. I'm approving on behalf of the United States.
This is important. Both Congress and the Supreme Court were basically unified in banning this app because China is considered a foreign adversary. However, President Trump met with President Xi of China, and it seems the two have come to some sort of agreement. We'll talk about it more in the tariff section, but he was proposing 60% tariffs on China. Now it's down to about 10%. This isn't just about saving an app, it's about controlling the infrastructure of modern consciousness. Platforms like TikTok have become battlegrounds for state power, where controlling attention means controlling reality itself. And people fled to an app called Red Note in the meantime. It's a Chinese state-owned app, and it catapulted itself to #1 on the App Store because users were like, just give China our data. That gets into a broader conversation around how Americans relate to the companies that own all of their data. They feel harvested, and they should. To say that China and TikTok are stealing all of our data discounts the fact that American companies are doing the same thing. Users don't really care about that. And so this isn't just a tech regulation story. It's about who gets to control the attention economy. So let's talk about tariffs. They shape consumer behavior by forcing people to spend more on basic goods. They signal political strength by targeting foreign adversaries and our allies. And importantly, they create media spectacle, distraction disguised as policy.
That it's not governments, it's not the foreign operations that pay for tariffs. It is your own consumers and your own businesses. Tariffs drive up the cost of living, and they drive up your the challenges for your business to be able to survive. And that's why we've worked so hard over the past several decades to bring down tariffs between countries, because everybody loses at the end of the day.
And we've seen tariffs backfire before. No economist thinks they're a good idea. I've talked about this a lot. The Smoot-Hawley Act during the Great Depression taught us that broad-based tariffs can collapse global trade and worsen economic crises.
The legislation increased tariffs on roughly 40% of the goods coming into the U.S., as much as to 59%. Extra import taxes that ostensibly were intended to protect U.S. jobs. It was an almost unanimous plea by economists at the time not to pass the Smoot-Hawley Act. Even the U.S. Senate, on its official website today, calls Smoot-Hawley among the most catastrophic acts in congressional hearing. That's a quote.
But here's the connection to the attention economy. Tariffs today aren't just about trade. They're about perception. Announcing a 60% tariff on Chinese goods doesn't just raise prices, it sends a message, forces headlines, and redirects public attention toward a narrative of control. The attention economy rewards spectacle, and tariffs have become part of that spectacle. Whether they achieve their strategic goals of geopolitical power or not, they dominate headlines, and in this system, that's the real point. Trumpcoin, TikTok, and tariffs are not just isolated events. Attention is creating wealth, wealth is enabling power, power is capturing more attention. Each cycle reinforces the next, and regulation simply cannot keep up. There's a $500 billion investment proposed in AI. How the heck is regulation going to outpace $500 billion? And it's called Project Stargate, and it's an American company with funding from OpenAI, from SoftBank, and from Oracle. None of those companies have the money to get to $500 billion, which Elon Musk pointed out on Twitter, but it's all attention. $500 billion of monetary value, sure. $500 billion of attention. That's really what it's all about. And I sound like a tinfoil hat type of person, but I think this is true. And as this machine goes stronger, the divide between two Americas is widening. You have the real world maintainers who are being hurt by these executive orders. They're people who build, fix, and sustain society. And then you have attention harvesters, people that have figured out the game, and they're playing it at the cost to pretty much everybody around them and our future. They create wealth purely through narrative, and they're untethered from any sense of reality. Bridges are crumbling while meme coins are soaring. Infrastructure is decaying while algorithms evolve. Reality itself has become a secondary concern. And why wouldn't it? You can make 35 billion plus on a meme coin. So I spent a lot of time in Los Angeles where the fires have ravaged the city, and on the ground there's immense kindness and empathy and people are helping each other. But online, it's been a different story where there's outrage and division and polarization. That disconnect mirrors our broader reality. The platforms that shape our attention also distort it. In 2025, we didn't need to destroy reality to make it irrelevant. We just had to stop paying attention to it. This isn't really about Trumpcoin or TikTok or tariffs. It's about a broader problem we're facing. Your attention is the most valuable thing. Your eyeballs are the most expensive thing that you own. So be careful with what you're paying attention to, because your outrage is worth a lot of money. Your time is worth a lot of money. I'm Kyla. Welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit subscribe, like, share with a friend if you want. I have a book called In This Economy, How Money and Markets Really Work, where I talk about the attention economy much more in depth. And finally, I'm across all social media at KylaScan, where I explain what's happening to the economy pretty much every single day. I hope that you all are doing okay out there, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.